He's small, he's cute, and he'll zap you till you're well done if you try to pick him up. He's been with us since the beginning, and now he's looking for Pokemon Masters in Eos Island. Welcome to the Pokemon Unite Character Spotlight, featuring Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon. Pikachu is categorized as an attacker that utilizes its special attack to disrupt and deal sustained AoE damage to shock opponents back into their Pokeballs. Pikachu's straightforward abilities are perfect for beginners, but requires a disciplined trainer to bring out his full potential.
Ready, go!
Pikachu's passive is static. When receiving damage, Pikachu discharges electricity to all nearby enemies, paralyzing them for a short time. Enemies that are paralyzed have their movement speed and attack speed reduced by a small amount for the duration of the effect. Every third basic auto attack becomes boosted with electricity, dealing increased damage and briefly paralyzing opponents. Pikachu's starting abilities are Thundershock and Electro Web. Thundershock releases electricity in a designated area, damaging and paralyzing all foes that are caught in the radius of the main target. Pikachu's other basic ability is Electro Web. Pikachu attacks and captures enemy Pokemon using an electric net, rooting them for a moderate duration. While rooted, enemy Pokemon will not be able to move nor use movement abilities until the ability expires, but can still attack and use other abilities, so be careful, it's not a perfect mousetrap. At level 4, Pikachu forgets Thundershock and can learn either Electro Ball or Thunder. Electro Ball is a sure hit move that damages a targeted Pokemon as well as any other enemies around them, paralyzing them briefly. Electro Ball also deals bonus damage based on the percentage of the enemy's missing health, meaning it deals more damage the closer the enemy Pokemon is to fainting. Its low cooldown allows the move to be used repeatedly in battle, whittling away at the enemy's health as its damage ramps up the weaker they get, providing your team with both great poke and a reliable execute. At level 11, the move upgrades to deal more damage and increases the bonus damage done based on the enemy's missing health. Electro Ball ensures that once you're locked on, it will follow your target until it hits, no matter how far away they are. You can run, but you can't hide. Electro Ball will find you. Alternatively, Pikachu can learn Thunder. Pikachu summons Wicked Lightning Bolts in a designated area, dealing damage to those caught in the area of effect. While each individual bolt may deal less damage than Electro Ball, Thunder deals damage over time to a much larger area than that of Electro Ball, giving it a higher damage potential. And at level 11, the move upgrades, granting even more strikes than before in the same amount of time. A well-placed Thunder can interrupt and prevent enemies from scoring goals, and can create damage zones that forces enemies to take damage if they pass through it. So try to predict where enemies are likely to be. Unlike Electro Ball, Thunder does not have the ability to stun or slow targets, so pair it with a crowd control ability of your own or from an ally to ensure maximum voltage. Remember, lightning always strikes twice, or 5 or 7 times. At level 6, Pikachu forgets Electro Web and learns either Volt Tackle or Thunderbolt. With Volt Tackle, Pikachu charges at a targeted enemy, becoming unstoppable, dealing damage and throwing them for a short time. When the ability ends, Pikachu jumps back a fixed distance in the same direction it was cast, jumping over obstacles if possible. And at level 13, the move upgrades, reducing the move's cooldown. For the duration of the ability, Pikachu is unstoppable and cannot be interrupted by most other abilities. However, this doesn't mean that Pikachu is immune to damage. Volt Tackle provides your team with instant crowd control to one target and can help to quickly remove a threat from the team battle, while also putting distance between you and your opponents. But remember that for the duration of the ability, you and the target enemy are stuck in the same place, and when the ability ends, you will land a fixed distance from the direction you first used your ability. Using this ability without considering your positioning may land you in trouble. Smart opponents can use this to their advantage and counterattack, so be wary of your timing and positioning. Pikachu's alternate ability at level 6 is Thunderbolt. After a brief delay, Pikachu attacks with a strong electric blast, dealing damage and briefly stunning all enemy Pokemon in the designated area. A well-placed Thunderbolt can neutralize several enemy Pokemon at once, giving your teammates the opportunity they need to win a team fight. Because of its delay, auto-aiming this ability can be a bit of a hit or miss, especially for quick targets. Instead, make a habit of manually aiming Thunderbolt and try to forecast where enemies will be to shock them with a hefty stun. At level 9, Pikachu learns its Unite ability, Thunderstorm. Pikachu leaps into the air, briefly becoming unstoppable, and summons multiple bolts of lightning in a large radius around him, dealing bolt loads of damage. The first strike targets all enemy players in the radius, and the following strikes target a single random enemy player within the area. Targets that are struck by the follow-up bolts deal damage to their allies in a small area around them. During this time, Pikachu can still attack and use all of his other abilities. Upon turning level 9, Pikachu also gains Spell Vamp, which heals Pikachu for a portion of the damage dealt by abilities and boosted attacks. In the early game, Pikachu excels in lane. Its abilities provide a significant amount of crowd control and damage, which can help you or your teammates escape ganks, secure kills, or deny early farm from the enemy team. Unlike most Pokemon, Pikachu doesn't need to evolve, so be sure to share some of the wild Pokemon with your lane partner, especially if they're close to evolving. When it comes time to upgrade your abilities, assess your own team composition as well as the opponent's to decide which would be more beneficial to you and your team. If the opponent team has many Pokemon with dashes or other movement abilities, or if your opponents have a high threat Pokemon, Volt Tackle and Electro Ball may help to shut down and deal damage to targets that may be otherwise hard to pin down. If you think your opponents are more likely to be grouped together in fights, Thunder and Thunderbolt can stun multiple enemies and or deal potent AoE damage. In the mid to late game, Pikachu is best played as a mid-ranged ability caster who can offer support to both the front and the back line. Stunning one or multiple enemies with Volt Tackle or Thunderbolt can lead to picks that give you and your team a numbers advantage over the enemy, so be sure to stick with your teammates when you can. When both teams go all in, it's your turn to shine. Pikachu's Thunderstorm can handily decide team battles when used to its fullest potential. Try to use it when most of the enemy's team is in your AoE to get the most possible damage done, and remember that you are free to move around and use all your abilities for the duration of Thunderstorm. However, keep in mind that Pikachu is also a fairly fragile attacker, and while the Spell Vamp can help to recover some of the damage taken during Thunderstorm, jumping in without teammates might leave you short-circuited for the rest of the fight. Pikachu's Unite move is on a relatively short cooldown, so don't be afraid to use it to win small skirmishes where the randomness of the ability is reduced or eliminated to 1 or 2 targets. However, keep an eye out on when major objectives spawn, and save your Unite moves for those major team battles. Otherwise, you may find your team lacking in damage during these crucial moments.
Time's up!
If you're charged up and ready to bring on the storm and zap the competition, head over to the Unite Battle Committee on Aos Island and check out your Unite license for Pikachu, the mouse Pokemon.